What's going on, HBCU family? It is Monday, November 11th, and you are locked into another episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your gracious host, Nick Eden, and we are back with another packed show. Excuse me. So, all right, y'all. A couple of house cleaning things. The first, today's going to be a little different. I've been toying around with some concepts because I don't want to get y'all in the habit of just seeing the same thing day after day. We're going to switch it up a little bit. And I've been planning on doing this for a long time, but now that election season is over, I got a little more chance to do it. So going forward on Mondays, we will be doing a full review of the HBCU Twitter weekly calendar. Okay. So just keep that in your mind now. I will still be dropping the calendar on Twitter on Sundays. I just didn't do it this time because this was going to be the very first one, and I wanted to kind of get all of those eyes on the full review that we do. Now, that doesn't mean that the regular format is going to change every day. For most of the week, excuse me, my goodness. For most of the week, it's still going to be the four main trending topics across the HBCU landscape, and then the fam topics in the second part of the show. Not giving that up. Y'all know that's my favorite part of the show, right? But again, I wanted to switch it up a little bit to give y'all something different on Mondays. Really something on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Wednesday, I'll kind of keep it under wraps what we're doing Wednesday for right now. And then Friday is going to really jump once we get into the spring. But for right now, we're going to do a little bit different stuff every now and then just to kind of keep y'all on your toes. And, just to make sure the show isn't boring. Like, I get it. Listen, it's a lot of shows out here. It's a lot of shows out here in the HBCU landscape. And what I didn't want to do is just be, hey, I'm just sitting here on StreamYard talking to y'all for an hour and boring the hell out of you. So, but now let me go ahead and say this. When it comes to the calendar, and yes, I'm going to talk about all the stuff from last week. The contents of Scotty's show on Thursday, specifically related to Mona, I will not be talking about that. Okay. I'm just not going to do that. I don't owe anybody an explanation as to why, but I don't feel right doing it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to talk about the other things that he talked about on Thursday. But the specific salacious part that some of y'all are probably here looking for, I wouldn't feel right talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it. She's not talking about any of that moving forward. So that's not cool in my opinion. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, so for those of you who are tuned in for the first time, In the Quad is a show dedicated to the hottest trending topics across the HBCU landscape. That is TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Fizz, Twitter/X, Gmail, snail mail. You got it. We talk about it. Now, the difference is in a normal setting, we will condense those to four main topics that we play on the first part of the show. And then on the second part of the show, we will play our fam topics, which are your questions and comments that you have submitted to the show. Today, we will not be doing that, though. Today, we will be breaking down, the thing that got me here to the dance. I don't know any other way to say it. It's the whole reason I'm here. And that is HBCU Twitter Weekly. So yeah, y'all, this has been a week for the books, boy. And we're going to break these down individually. Some of the stuff y'all definitely know about. Some of y'all may have actually missed. But in either sense, we got a lot to talk about. But before we do that, because I was going to do this last, but I think it's important that we go ahead and knock this out first. So for those of you who do not know, I'm pretty sure everybody at this point knows, on Saturday night, early Sunday morning, at Tuskegee's homecoming, there was a shooting on the campus of Tuskegee. And there have been some things that come out since then. The identity of one of the shooters, because there was definitely more than one. Fatalities associated with it, the injuries associated with it. I made no mistake about it that I am personally invested in it, not just because it's HBCUs, because I would be either way, but because my daughter was actually outside when everything started happening. And so I did want to just quickly address my thoughts on it before we got into all the funny portions. Those of you who tune into this show 5 days a week, you know, when I do my final thoughts, I say the same thing every time: be safe. I can't stress that enough. Uh, there are a lot of people out there, as we are talking about solutions, we're talking about what possibly went wrong and what we can do going forward. I hear a lot of talks about, oh, well, if we do this, then it's going to cost more money, or if we do this, it's going to ruin the experience. Let me tell you about experience. At 12:55, I got a text on my phone saying that my daughter had called the emergency number, and it pinged me her location. I couldn't get to her because the cell service on campus, much like many HBCUs, was very shoddy. You couldn't get calls in or out. She just happened to get 2 calls to 911 out. And because I am an emergency contact, it pinged my phone. And they got another call where she called again and again. I could not get to her. I couldn't get to her. The last thing I got was at 1:30 a.m. I got a text saying that I'm at home, I'm okay. And even still, I couldn't get to her until after 6 a.m. the next morning. I say that to say, I don't give a damn how much it costs. The safety of our children is priceless. I don't care if your tailgate prices go up. I don't care if you feel inconvenienced by them doing checks when you're coming into the gates. I don't care about any of that. If you don't like it, don't go. But if your convenience is worth more than these children's lives, because realize one thing: there was a child out there that died. Now, that child was not a student at Tuskegee. And I've talked before about the local element, the positive and negative effect it's had on our campuses. But whether or not that child was a student, somebody is now planning a funeral where they could have been planning a graduation. 16 students had to be taken in for treatment for injuries. And that's just the ones who went. I'm not trying to put all my business out there. My daughter was doing concussion protocols yesterday. She got trampled like many other students did in the melee of it. And she wasn't even one of the 16 who went to get immediate assistance. Somebody was shot in the arm. Somebody was shot in the stomach. I don't care about your convenience. And I don't care if you say that makes me elitist. I really don't care. Because I want to be clear that the things, when we send our children off to school, we don't send them there for that. Some of these kids came from the projects, they could have got that at home. You can get it anywhere. Like, let's make no mistake about it. It can happen anywhere. But I certainly do not send my child to an institution of higher learning for it. Now, am I saying I'm blaming Tuskegee all the way for it? No, not all the way. There is some responsibility on their part, which is why I can appreciate, and I want to read what was put out earlier so that people know that there was some type of action taken and some type of forethought about what's going to happen going forward. This was sent out to the students. Tuskegee University is no longer a campus open to visitors who are not cleared by security and issued badges. Therefore, starting today, Monday, November 11th, everyone on campus must have and wear their IDs. You will need yours to enter campus going forward. For now, We are closing access to campus and limiting foot and vehicle traffic to the Lincoln gates. We will conduct random searches of cars, so be prepared to accommodate officers as they perform those duties. This may also mean delays as you enter campus. I will walk through these details during 2 town halls tomorrow, one for you and one for your parents. I would like to see as many of you as possible at 7:30 p.m. in the chapel. Please tell your parents we are hosting a Zoom call for them at 6 p.m. on Monday. They can register here. I would like to repeat something said in an earlier communication. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Please keep that in mind as you navigate this challenge in the days ahead. I will see you on the yard. I will absolutely be on that call tonight. And I appreciate the administration for Tuskegee, going through measures and saying, okay, here's where we may have come short, and this is what we're going to do going forward to ensure the safety of our students. Make no mistake about it. This is the second time this has happened. This happened last year. It wasn't at homecoming, but it did happen at a party on campus close to around homecoming. It's the second time I've had to deal with this with my daughter. You don't know, like for many of us, we have a group chat, parents of the class of 2027. We have a group chat. Some of us got to be very good friends, very close over the course of these last 2 years. And the panic, the absolute panic that goes through every parent's mind, wondering if your child's going to be that one. Wondering if, because there's shoddy cell service there with so many people on campus, if you will be able to hear your child's last words. This is nothing to play with. I don't give a damn about y'all having a good time at homecoming. I'll be honest with you. I mean that. And again, this ain't just on Tuskegee. The same thing happened at Albany State, at Tennessee State, at Alabama State, and I got the same smoke for everybody. We are so concerned as a community about not coming off as elitists that are we really willing to sacrifice the safety of our children just for perception of somebody? I don't give a damn if you think I'm an elitist or not. I really don't. And to that young lady on Twitter who says, oh, it comes off as elitist, I don't give a damn. I've had to bury a godchild. I will not bury another child. So, that being said, my prayers go out to all of the families that were affected by this. And I'm hoping that with the remainder of this homecoming season, that whoever still has a homecoming will anticipate that there might be an issue like this, because at this point we have averaged 1 shooting per week since homecoming started. So to all the administrations, and y'all can clip this, y'all can send it to them, I will start calling people. You got a classic, you got a homecoming, you got a big anticipated game, anything that's going to be a lot of people, take note to what happened and make sure that it does not happen. Everything within your power to make sure that it does not happen. I actually even priced up the whole daggone cell towers. It costs $15,000 per. Where I need to send a check. I can't cover the whole $15,000 right now, but I can put towards it. And I will ask each and every one of you to reach out to your alumni chapters and say, hey, we need to make sure that there's adequate cell service and cell towers at these games. We need to donate towards this. We donate to everything else. We donate $100 towards parking. So that is my final thought on it. And I appreciate, again, all the parents who reached out. I appreciate the students who reached out, the group chats, the Facebook groups, the whole nine, and for the people who've offered practical solutions into it. And I'm just hoping and praying that this is not something that we have to have going forward, because this is not what our schools are about. So we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we're about to break down this calendar day by day. And trust me, you do not want to miss it. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, "You're gonna love this." He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, "These cars are going fast," I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue, with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day. See you next week.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden, where we are covering the hottest trending topics in the HBCU landscape. And it doesn't get any hotter than HBCU Trending Weekly. This is probably going to piss some people off. But hey, that's what the calendar's been doing for well over a year. So, look, let's get right into it. First, all right, y'all, listen. I'm telling you now. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of this has already been talked about, yes. But I want to make sure that everybody is completely well-versed on what's going on this week. So let's start it off. So first, y'all, and shout out to Josh, HBCU Nightly. For those who do not know, HBCU Nightly covers, it's probably one of the most comprehensive football coverage shows within the HBCU landscape. The knowledge that these guys have is beyond. And Josh, one of the executive producers and the founder of HBCU Nightly, who also happens to be an alum of North Carolina Central, as well as a former football player. Last week, after Chennis Berry and his crew of Bulldogs put a whipping on Central, Josh got on HBCU Nightly and made a big plea for Howard University to pull off the upset against the Bulldogs. Josh, happy birthday, Josh, by the way. Happy birthday. Josh donated to the athletic program. Josh did the Bison chant. The only person I've ever heard do it besides him was Erica. Let me tell you something. He was all the way in. And I mean all the way in for Howard University. Now, here's the problem. Howard got smacked up by South Carolina State Saturday night. So, Josh, I'm going to personally, just because it's online, you put it out there, I'm still going to personally go into my pockets and I'm going to send you some Howard Bison gear so we can make this big ass hat a reality. Because it had to be one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my absolute life. So again, shout out to HBCU Nightly. Shout out to Josh. Happy birthday once again. And yeah, man. Yeah. You're not going to live this down. I told you when we were in Miami at Orange Blossom Classic that I was going to get you on this calendar this year. And you have definitely made it. Now, that was Monday. I'm sorry. That was Sunday. Sunday was a day. Monday, my goodness. Now, we've been talking about this all week, and at this point, everybody has got somebody's playbook. Because apparently it came out that somehow via Huddle, I believe, and this was first reported on by Scotty for his off-script show, that Jackson State had somehow gotten a hold to the playbook for UAPB, to which some of the players called one of the other ones and said, hey, we on your Huddle, we got your playbook, the whole nine. And as you probably recall last week, Jackson State beat UAPB within an inch of their life. So I don't really know how effective that playbook was. Maybe, just maybe, if that playbook was so effective, then UAPB should have probably read it. I'm just saying. But as expected, this brought all of Jackson State Twitter to the gate to defend their alma mater, which you should. Allegedly, there is an actual investigation that's going on right now. But for right now, it's alleged that 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 JSU got a hold to UAPB's playbook. In my personal opinion, I think there are other playbooks that you could have gotten a hold to. Maybe this wasn't the best one to get. So, in any event, shout out to Jackson State, shout out to UAPB. Shout out to Scotty breaking the story, but that led to some other stuff in the week that we're going to get to in just a second. On a more somber note, Tuesday, November 5th, Donald Trump was elected 47th president of the United States. And he has touted over and over his Black support and how much he loves the Blacks and they love him. And me being a member of the Blacks, I can tell you that ain't true. But there was a whole lot around this. First, we all know that VP Kamala Harris was the first HBCU alum to receive the Democratic nomination ticket. We know that she was the first Black woman to be a major party candidate. And we know there was a lot of energy around this. Now, in fairness, she only had 2 months to run this campaign. And I know because for a month and a half of it, I was on a campaign trail, not specifically with the Harris campaign, with another organization, but, in support. And as much as the energy was great, as much money was raised, as great as the efforts were, the voter turnout was very low. And so now this is what y'all got. I would say Wakanda forever, but that's more like, well, kind of. well, kind of, and hopefully not forever, but maybe for the next at least 4 years. But y'all, this is what it is. Donald Trump will be elected to 40, unless something crazy has happened, and it's a bunch of conspiracy theories floating around about it. Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. So I would say this to everyone out there. The first for the ADOS FBA crew. I really want to see a plan on how y'all are going to get reparations out of this dude here. That's first. Second, for the Palestinian protesting group. I really want to see how y'all are going to get a peaceful solution for Palestine out of this dude here. Third, for the people who chose the couch, I don't want to hear one damn thing. Not one complaint about this presidency. And I'm saying it now, that for the next 4 years, and for 4 years only, and to one group of people only, I will defend this dude here if you complain. Because if you chose the couch, you can't say anything wrong about what he does. And based on his last presidency, it's going to be a lot. So, please understand, you have nothing to say. Palestinian protesters, I hope you get the solution that you're looking for. ADOS FBA, I hope it. Look, if y'all can, let me say something. If y'all can pull off reparations with that dude in office, that dude, him. If y'all can pull off reparations, but that's y'all king right now. That's y'all king right now. Democrats are out. That's y'all king. So if y'all can do that, hey, look, you got my respect. Listen, we're gonna take another commercial break. Hopefully, America is still here when I get back. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, you're gonna love this. He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, these cars are going fast, I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
Amazon Fall Favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon Fall Favorites now.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. We are right in the middle of our HBCU Twitter weekly review. Now, let's just give you a quick recap, especially for those who are just tuning in. If you did not know, just so we're clear, Cover Monday, Josh on HBCU Nightly became an honorary Bison for a week until Chennis Berry smacked Howard up again. Sorry, Howard, I love y'all death, but they smacked the hell out of y'all. On Tuesday, JSU got accused of stealing UAPB's playbook for what? I have absolutely no idea. That's the last playbook I'd be looking to steal in the SWAC, but that's neither here nor there. And that was Monday. And on Tuesday, old Donnie Doodle got elected, at least presumptively, the 47th president of the United States of America. Now, let's stop playing. I know why y'all here. Listen. Shout out to Offscript. Listen, some of y'all have been waiting on this since his first show. Some of y'all really have been waiting on it since his first show about HBCUs. Over the last 4 years, Offscript has been one of the top shows in the HBCU media space. And a lot of it kicked off, obviously, all of it really kicked off with Deion Sanders. Many people speculated that Scotty would be leaving the HBCU space after Deion left to go to Colorado. No, he stuck around. Not only did he stick around, he started producing more shows. Here's the thing. The fallout from this, and I think it was more than just this, if I'm being honest. And I would invite anybody to go to the show and just see. But the fallout seemed like it was the icing on the cake for a long list of stuff. Now, I'll be honest with you, y'all. I do not understand. I really and truly don't. Why everybody gets in such an uproar about anything that he does. I don't get it. And what's crazy is a lot of times it's folks that don't even catch the smoke that he has most of the time. I just said it time and time again. Scotty had a whole shirt talking about the Rocket Mortgage Hornets when we hired E-Rob to be head coach at Alabama State. We kept catching strays from dude. Hell, we catch strays from a lot of folks. But, I mean, still number 2 in the SWAC East. Anyway, but yeah, so people have finally got what they want. And that is on Wednesday's show, Scotty announced that he would be leaving the HBCU space. He's moving on, he's pivoting after this season. He also mentioned that going forward, he would not mention under any circumstances Jackson State at all. Now, and that's why I say I think it's the icing on the cake. Now, here's a piece to it. That wasn't the only thing that went on that show. I could have seen that was the only thing that went on, and we wouldn't have had the following days of fallout that we had from that. The first bit of fallout that happened was he mentioned, because he saw a post that someone put up and that She Loves D responded to, she said that he would probably be losing his show soon, something to the effect of that, whatever the case may be. Yeah, we all talk on Twitter. It is what it is. And he went into a Scotty rant about how he helped get her the deal at HBCU Plus, and how everything came together. Now, again, if you've been under a rock, you probably don't know that there's been a very tumultuous relationship between Offscript and She Loves D. And at this point, it's personal. It's Scotty and Timona. It's like there's a personal beef here. Some of the things he talked about, I've already said I'm not going to talk about, just out of respect. I'm not going to do it. If you want to see it, go watch the show. But She Loves D didn't take too kindly to it. And I told y'all before, she's the queen of receipts. Now, are they full receipts? Well, that remains to be seen. But there's some receipts here, which led us to, baby. Now, I thought I was petty. Timona had the daggone contract. Timona had the contract. Now, allegedly, well, according to her show, she acquired Scotty's contract from HBCU Plus. According to Scotty, it wasn't the final contract, but that was the gist of it without any of the amendments that he had put in there. But we saw the basics of it: $5,000 a month, 10% in advertising, doing X amount of events, getting permission to cover X amount of things, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The question that everybody had, and in full transparency, I started texting around. How the hell did she get the contract? Nobody had an answer. Nobody had an answer. All we knew was that she had the contract, and she called it famously a 360 deal. So Scotty, being Scotty, decides, hey, I'm about to respond to this joint. And Scotty says, since I'm going out anyway, on Friday, the brother went full Nino Brown. And when I say full Nino Brown, I'm talking.
Look at it. Kareem Akbar. That's right, the educated brother from the bank. He's the real head of the CMB, the brains behind the whole thing. I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Excuse my lawyer, please. Look at it. Kareem Akbar. That's right, the educated brother from the bank. He's the real head of the CMB, the brains behind the whole thing. I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Excuse my lawyer, please.
So, first, let me reiterate. Any talk of any investors, and that's the term that I'm using, I'm not getting to the details of that. But allegedly, someone from Scotty's crew, from his inner circle, gave the contract to Timona. And that's allegedly how she got it. Scotty didn't take too kindly to this. Which, for the record, I mean, because people, y'all joke and say I must own a part of HBCU Plus. That's the first time I've seen anybody's contract at HBCU Plus besides my own. And yes, I looked at it. Yes, I looked at it all the way through, all up in there. Sure did. I'm nosy just like y'all. That's why y'all here today. Let's stop BSing. It's all good. I appreciate y'all though. I did look at it. And again, Scotty did admit it. I think what he admitted was that the thing that hurt the most about it was the person who leaked it. And that was the person that was in his circle who then allegedly gave it to Timona. Now, I'm not here to speculate. I'm just here to report what happened. And I do want y'all to know though, this image, yeah, y'all gonna see that more than once. Sorry, Scotty. Love you, bro, but this is too funny not to have. But listen, I think we're at the point now where we're done with everything. I'm hoping we're at the point where we're done with everything. You're talking about two people who are amazingly talented at what they do. It's pretty clear at this point that Timona is not coming back to HBCU Plus, and that's fine because she's gonna be successful regardless. HBCU Plus is going to be successful regardless. So, can we please, and I'm begging, please, can we put this to bed? Finally. She's already said she's not going to speak on it publicly anymore. She's got some things in the works that she's doing right now. And listen, again, I support anybody that wants to clear their name of any mishaps, anything like that. Okay. Scotty is moving on. He's going to we've got it's the 11th. We got a month, almost 2 months of HBCU coverage left. And then for those of y'all who are so adamant about him not being here anymore, he'll be gone. So she's moving on to greater things. He's moving on to greater things. when he leaves, those of you who want him gone, y'all will consider that a greater thing. So I think at this point, everybody can let it go. Drink some prune juice, let the shit go. Okay. Insane and diabolical that I said that right before I go to a commercial break. When I come back, we got one more day to discuss on the calendar.
Look at it. Kareem Akbar.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Wait, just one more time.
Look at it. Kareem Akbar. That's right, the educated brother from the bank. He's the real head of the CMB, the brains behind the whole thing. I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Excuse my lawyer, please.
I'm sorry. My side hurt. All right, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna go to commercial break, and then we'll come back, and we're gonna talk about the last day on the calendar. Oh, it's in the quad with Nick Eden.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. It's these pro-level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
Okay, I didn't mean to do it. That time, I legitimately forgot to take it down. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, yo. Well, welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden, where we cover the absolute hottest trending topics in the HBCU landscape. Listen, today we have done a full review of the calendar, except for one day. And that's because there was a lot that was supposed to be on there that almost made it. One of those was my Alabama State Hornets fumbling the bag against Grambling. But there was a game that went on Saturday that absolutely, in the midst of everything else, excuse me, everything else took the cake. And that was the Panthers of Prairie View put belt to ass to the FAMU Rattlers. Where do we start? There's a couple things I want to point out. The first thing I would like to point out on the PV side, that they are the last remaining original members of the SWAC. That's first. So it is kind of poetic that the last to come to the SWAC lose to the last original SWAC members. That's first. Second, this was definitely a lick back from last year, where FAMU beat the hell out of them twice at Bragg. Whew. That's the second thing. Now, for those who say, well, I wouldn't have expected a team like PV to beat FAMU. Let me say this, so we are 100% on the same page. You do realize Prairie View has been to the SWAC championship, 3 or 4 times in the last 5 years? I think they've alternated between Southern. I'm gonna get the numbers on that, but more than any other SWAC team, if I'm not mistaken, Prairie View has been to the SWAC championship. They find a way to make their way into the championship game. Will that be the case this time? Probably not. It will more than likely be Southern if they can clinch this weekend. But I've been telling y'all, don't sleep on Prairie View. They're going to find a way to do some things. They are. Doesn't matter what the schedule look like. And I've said on this show, any given Saturday, any team can win. Now, to address this, FAMU. First, prayers to Daniel Richardson, who suffered a concussion during the game. And then the second string QB, Junior, had to come in. Trust me, I've been there. We're on our 5th string QB. I'm going to address that in a second. There was also another young man, I want to say he was a running back, who also had to leave the game as well. So I'm praying for the healing of those young gentlemen, that they can get rested and healthy. Do not rush back at the sake of your health. If you're ready to go, I understand it. Y'all are warriors. Go for it. If not, don't push yourself. Okay? But let me address a couple things. And Rattlers, you know I love you. Got a lot of love for you. But y'all, with the exception of a few, shout out to Hank. Shout out to Kenya. Shout out to Tashay. Shout out to Torin. It's quite a few of y'all that are Rattlers that were like, hey, look, good game, Prairie View. And you just move on to the next. But some of y'all, where were all these fans before of PV? How come we hadn't heard of them before today? How they reactivated their Twitter account just so they can come and talk mess. Y'all talk mess before, during, and after every single game. Sit back. You got the L. They're going to talk their mess. That is what it is. Everybody talks mess. PV is probably the most untroublesome. PV and UAPB are probably the 2 most untroublesome fan bases in the SWAC. But yeah, they're going to get out and they're going to talk their mess. Y'all would have too. Y'all were talking y'all mess clear up until the game started, and you realized, dang, we can't get the lead on these dudes for nothing. So yeah, they're absolutely going to talk their mess. They're supposed to. Second, I certainly remember a certain fan base who did have a lot to say about Alabama State being down to his fifth string quarterback. It ain't so cute and funny now, is it? When the rabbit got the gun, it ain't so cute and funny. It's never funny to talk about somebody's injuries. Hopefully, that's not something that y'all do going forward. And the last thing to the Rattlers. Take pride in the fact that in the time that you've been in the SWAC, that Saturday was the first time that y'all suffered a defeat at a SWAC opponent that was not Jackson State. Now, I know the timing is crazy. Y'all trying to get back into the championship scene. You're trying to make your way. I get it. I get it. We got this whole thing on the SWAC East about who's going to do this and who's going to do that. I get it. Trust me, I do. I get it. But it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. This Saturday will likely determine whether or not Jackson State is going to be the SWAC East champion or not. And in that regard, okay, it is what it is. Lights out on this season, concentrate on the next season. I don't want to hear nothing else about eliminating divisions. I don't want to hear anything else about, do-overs and I don't want to hear none of that. It happens. It happened. And in this regard, Prairie View put belt to absolute ass. Shout out to PV. Now, folks, let me just say this, because my phone is already pinging, which means some of y'all do not understand what I mean when I say I am not doing any fam topics today. And I already know which fan base is coming from. Love y'all, but I'm not reading it today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our final commercial break. And then we're going to be back with my final thoughts. It's in the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
Whether you call her Granny, Nana, my dear, she knows a treat makes any meal special. So come to McDonald's and treat yourself to the Grandma McFlurry today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results.
Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds.
You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. Final thoughts. As I say every day, be safe. Please be safe. You, your children, your families, be safe. Our HBCUs, y'all, it's only 107 of us. We have to protect what we have. Please be safe. I cannot stress that enough. Do not let an element that is not a part of our culture impact our culture in a negative way. That doesn't mean that you push everybody away, not by any means. But what it does mean is we have to protect our culture. That's the first thing. Shout out to our FCS HBCU Player of the Week, Donald Eaglin of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. good thing for you, young man. Shout out to our HBCU Team of the Week, Morgan State and Bears. You're gonna hear that from Banks for a few days. And forgive the train that's coming. You never know what happens when you go live. But listen, y'all, again, stay safe. We got a lot coming up to finish out this football season. High stakes game this week, and high stake games this week. And there will be 2 major announcements coming out of HBCU Plus this week. So please stay tuned to socials and to this show. 2 major announcements. One I know you wasn't expecting. And just because this train is going, I'm going to say, y'all, I will talk to you all same time tomorrow. Take care. Seriously? Seriously.